Well, now I'm going to move on to a brand new tutorial for the month of September. And this month's tutorial is focusing on bundles in the mini catalog. And there are 16 projects, okay? I'm one of the designers on the team. And again, we're focusing on bundles that are in the mini catalog. Now, when you purchase $35 in my online store, I will send this to you in your inbox, okay? So that you will get that as complimentary for shopping with me. Also, as many of you know, when you do purchase $35 in product, you earn a B. And when you have earned 10 Bs, you receive $35 in free product. And I send an email at the end of the month and let you know that your card is full and that you've earned a B, and then you can let me know what that is. And we are talking all about the Gilded Autumn Suite, all right? And so here it is. I've got a little bit of a glare, but I've had so much fun creating with this suite. And so we're working on it tonight, and we're going to work on it again next Wednesday. And then my plan is to do the Love of Leaves bundle the third Wednesday of September. So we're going to move on into fall and get a lot of fall cards made this month, okay? Just in time for, fall and Thanksgiving, okay? I'm going to grab something to drink here. I'll show you the suite, and I do have measurements for you tonight. And so I'll give you those and you can do a screenshot, okay? Oh, Laura, you're welcome. It's been a long time coming. We've been here almost 4 years now in our home. And I loved everything about our house. And I like the kitchen. I like the size of it. But I was just ready to get rid of all the green. There was a lot of green. And I love green. It's my favorite color. I had a green floor, green countertops. But anyway, this was something we wanted to do. We knew, when we moved in. So, okay. So, beautiful autumn. Now, I love punches. So, anything with a punch, I'm going to have, right? And so, beautiful autumn has 3 coordinating punches, all right? You get an oak leaf, and there's your oak leaf right here. You've got a solid image and an outline. You're going to notice that for all the leaves and for the acorn, okay? And I'm going to show you how to stamp with those tonight. Hi, Amanda. Welcome. All right, our next leaf is the maple leaf, okay? So there's that one right there. And then this is the acorn, okay? Now, these 3 punches come together, okay? So you can buy them separately right here on page 46. It's called the Autumn Punch Pack. All right, so you can get those separately, or you can bundle the stamp set with the punches. All right, and you'll save 10% if you bundle, and it's $50.25. Now, here are the images. And then the words. Have a beautiful day. My heart is grateful for you. Thank you. Life is better with you. And hey there. All right. So you get a really nice little, selection of greetings and images. Hi, Cindy. Welcome from Florida. Nice to have you tonight. Okay, and you know what? I don't think I brought my little acorns over here, but they are the cutest darn things that I have ever seen. They are so, so cute. And then the ribbon, see, I'm so ready for my gift card tonight that I didn't bring everything over here for the suite. But with this combo ribbon pack, you're gonna get cinnamon cider, and then that's mint macaron, okay, and that's a weave. This is in the ribbon share, by the way. Now paper. So this is the Gilded Autumn designer paper. And this is what it looks like. This is one double-sided sheet. This is another sheet. Here's another sheet. Another one. Here's another sheet here, front and back here, okay? So those are the papers, and it's a specialty paper, so it's $15 because it has copper in it and gold, okay? These are the coordinating colors: Cajun Craze, brass foil, no, excuse me, copper foil, crumb cake, early espresso. This is gold foil, mint macaron, and then very vanilla, which is the same color as this cardstock. So if you like this reference tool right here, it will be on my blog this Friday morning right under the replay video, all right? And you can download the file and print it, and it'll be right there for you. And it has all the information that you need, and you would store this with your designer paper pack. So, and you'll see here, it's from the 2020 Stampin' Up! August to December mini catalog. It tells you the page, the item number, and the price. It tells you coordinating colors, and then it has my information listed below, all right? So that reference tool will be available to you this Friday, and my blog address is www.becreativestamping.com, and I hope you will go there and visit because there's a lot of good stuff on my blog, lots of references and pictures and ideas, okay? And Margaret, I am so glad that you just asked me this question because I almost forgot to tell you. So Margaret wants to know, do the punches coordinate with the paper? And I have great news because it does. All right, look at this piece of paper right here, okay? On the opposite side of it, you've got acorns, the maple leaf and mint macaron, the oak leaf and Cajun Craze, and these punches will punch these out. How cool is that? So you get a whole sheet of that. You can see how I'm like saving it and using it. Tonight we're gonna stamp because I want you to see how to stamp them. But yeah, you can use these. Now, there's another sheet, and it's this sheet right here with the foil. You can punch out the acorn, there's the oak leaf, there's a maple leaf, and so again, you can punch these out using this. Now, isn't that cool? I love when Stampin' Up! Does that, and I'm so glad you asked me that, Margaret, because I think I would have forgotten until much later. All right, so that's paper, and you know, I ought to show you the stamps here again. Here's a pine cone, and here's the solid image. And look at this leaf, and it has the solid image that can go on top of it, as even this leaf. So, and these are just different leaves, like they're falling. So, so anyway, you're gonna see how these work tonight, okay? All right, now let me show you the brushed metallic 12 by 12 paper, okay? You get 2 of each color. So you're going to get 2 of the, I think this is the gold. Sometimes it's hard to tell. You're going to get 2 12 by 12 sheets of the gold. Okay, you can tell I cut it out with that Halloween die. Here's the bronze. Isn't that pretty? And here is the copper. Now I'm going to tell you, I've been using this stuff like crazy. I've gone through 2 packs because I'm using it for classes next week that I have, my hostess clubs. And so I had to order more this morning because I'm just loving it. So if this isn't on your list, I'm just going to tell you, it kind of needs to be on your list, okay? Well, Terry, if you don't have the punches yet, maybe after tonight you'll make your decision, okay? And Pam said that the DSP does match the Hershey Kisses, and she's right. A few weeks ago, we used Hershey Kisses, and they had mint macaron in the wrapper, and Cajun Craze, and so the Hershey Kisses wrappers were perfect for this paper, for this whole suite. So, all right. So again, that's pages 44, 45, and 46. And we'll also work in the same suite next week, okay? Because we'll do some more projects with it. All right, now I'm gonna leave this here for you and zoom up. Here are the measurements, okay? If you don't wanna write them down, I'm gonna give you a few minutes to do a screenshot if you want, or take a picture with your phone if you want. So, thank you, Terry. I just talk you right into it, right? Just talk you right into getting it. Oh gosh, it's kind of hard not to. There's so much in this new book, so much. And I am just, you know, I still don't have it all. I've really been trying to pace myself, and it's really hard. So this is the Gilded Autumn Suite gift card holder. Okay, ladies, that's what we're making. I'm gonna move the gift card out of the way so you can do a picture if you want, or a screenshot. Thanks, Margaret. Okay, so these measurements will be on my blog Friday as well. And if I can remember, I'll post the measurements with tonight's Facebook Live broadcast, okay? It's just when I'm done, I'm usually cleaning up and I forget to do these things. Let's see. Simone, great question. Do I plan to do a class from page 48? Well, the good thing is, Simone, with the coffee carriers, I'm using the paper, okay? I'm using the Gilded Autumn paper for the coffee carrier class. I don't have anything planned right now as far as a class on page 48. But we're gonna work on this again next Wednesday night. So you'll get some more ideas next week. And we'll probably do 2 cards next week, okay? So good question. All right, I'm gonna move this aside, ladies, if that's okay. All right, and we're gonna get started. Now, what we're going to do is I'm going to show you how to cut your cardstock so that you can get 2 gift card holders out of 1 sheet of paper. Okay, which I think is pretty darn cool. So you can make 2 at one time. And then we're gonna be embellishing with the paper, and we're gonna do some stamping. And then on the inside, we're gonna create this insert, okay? This is an insert that we're gonna create and use, all right? Now, you may have seen this before. About a year ago, I wanna say June 2019, we made one of these identical to this, and it was with the Sailing Away Suite, which is the sailboat set. So you can always go back and look at the Facebook Lives that are on my page, but we have made this before, and it's just been a while. Oh yeah, and there's the little gift card right there, okay? All right, so let's see. Let's go ahead and we'll get started with the cutting and the scoring, okay? So I am gonna bring in my Stampin' Trimmer for this, and I thought I was gonna zoom out, but you know what? That's looking pretty good. So I think I'll just keep it like that, all right? Yeah, the paper, of course the paper is beautiful. I mean, Stampin' Up has the most amazing paper. Okay, so I'm gonna look at my directions to make, I'm gonna look at these measurements that I just provided you all to make sure that I tell you correctly. Let's see, I am gonna need to open the arm, so I'm extending that now. Okay, so this is a standard sheet of cardstock. It's 8.5 by 11 inches, all right? So we're gonna turn this to the 11-inch side, all right? And we're gonna score right at 2 inches, Okay, so here we go. All right, so that's my first score line, okay? And then we're going to score again at 7.5. So I'm just going to move this right on over here to the 7.5 mark. All right, and then I've got my 2 score lines, and this is Cajun Craze cardstock. All right, now we're going to turn this to the 8.5-inch side, and we're going to cut it at 4 1/4. All right, which is one of our standard card sizes. So I know I like the stamp too, Cindy. I really do. I'm glad you like it. So when I cut this at 4 1/4, I've cut this sheet of cardstock in half, and that's my 2 gift card holders right there, okay? Now while we have the trimmer here, let's go ahead and cut the insert, okay? All right. And so I'm going to use Cajun Craze. Now when I speak of the insert, I'm talking about this piece right here, okay? I'm going to tuck that back in, but that's what I mean by the insert, and that is what is going to hold the gift card. And I think I've always done this the same color as the outside. So the insert is the same color as the outside. Okay, so let's see here. We want to, I'm looking for, oh, here we go. Okay, so we want this to measure 7 inches by 11 inches. So this is the 8.5-inch side, and I'm just gonna go right over here to 7, right there. And I'm gonna trim that off. And now this is measuring 7 inches by 11 inches, okay? Now, along the 7-inch side, I need to do some scoring. So I'm going to score at the 1/2 inch, all right? And I want, hopefully, I think I'm doing it right. I think I've got it on the right side. I'm following my measurements, so. All right, our first score line needs to be at a 1/2 inch. And so that is the 1/2 inch there, which is a little hard to see with that fluorescent lighting. There's the 1/2 inch, or here's the 1/2 inch. I can score it either way, but I tend to like to score on this side, so I'm gonna put it on the 1/2 inch. And I'm gonna put that score line right there. Okay, so there's my 1/2 inch score line. Now I am going to turn my paper around this time, and I'm going to score at 5 inches. So we're going to go over here to the 5-inch mark, and we're going to score again. Okay. And now I'm going to rotate it. Now it's on the 11-inch side, and I'm going to cut it at 4 1/8. So let me show you where that is. This is 4, and 2 lines over is 4 1/8. All right, I know that can be really tricky to see. So 4 1/8. Okay, that's the insert. I'm going to cut another one at 4 1/8. And guess what? I have 2 inserts for 2 gift card holders, okay? And then this is going to be scrap paper that's left over, all right? So isn't that cool? 2 gift card holders and 2 inserts. All right, now I think we can get rid of this. And now I'm going to share with you the measurements for this brushed cardstock, brushed metallic cardstock, okay? And the designer paper. All right. And I think I'm using the copper. It's kind of hard to tell between the copper and the gold. Okay. So what you start with is, and I've already pre-cut mine for this, okay, because I was running low on this and I wanted to be sure that I had enough. So with your brushed cardstock, it is going to measure 4 inches by 5 inches, all right? So you will cut 1 sheet of brushed metallic cardstock, and it's 4 by 5 inches. Got it? And then when you're done cutting that one piece, you're gonna lay your metallic cardstock in the trimmer along the 5-inch side, and then you're going to cut it at 3 1/4. You're just gonna slice it at 3 1/4, okay? So this is what it was, and now we've cut it. Got it? You got it? Hey, Mary Kay. You're never late to the party, Mary Kay. Never late. All right, so that is for your brushed metallic cardstock. Love this stuff. So just go ahead now and put it on your list, okay? All right. Now you're going to have a sheet of designer paper. And this, let me see if I can just straighten it up for you. You're going to cut a sheet of designer paper. Now, this is a directional piece of designer paper. And what I mean by that is that this pattern has direction. So make sure you're cutting it the right way, okay? Yeah, the designer paper is amazing. Yes, Simone, you need the cutter. You can't live without a cutter, absolutely. All right, so ladies, when you measure this, I want you to cut it at 3 7/8. And that right there, see the 4? I do this because I know when I first started making cards, I kind of had to relearn all these different little 8s and 16ths, and it was really tough. So here's 4. You're going to cut your designer paper at 3 7/8. All right? And then you're going to want to cut it at 4 1/2, which is right there. So 3 7/8, 4 1/2, or is it 4 3/4? Hang tight. It's 4 3/4, and your sheet is right, by the way. 4 3/4. Okay. Then you're going to turn your designer paper on the 4 3/4 inch side. All right, and you're going to cut it at 3 1/8 inches. And when you cut it at 3 1/8 inches, you've got 2 pieces that'll fit on your gift card. Okay? So that's 3 1/8. Got it? All right, that's all the math for today, I think. I think I've gone over all the math. I hope so. Okay, so now what we can do is we can actually start putting the gift card together. And I am going to use my Stampin' Seal for this. It's so funny, I'm always waiting to hear that little noise that my snail used to make, and I don't hear it. All right, you can tell it's a little sticky. All right, so you're just gonna center this right on your brushed metallic cardstock. I think I like saying that, brushed metallic cardstock. All right, so that is going to be your top panel. All right, and now we're gonna do the bottom. There we go. And now we'll get the bottom done. And again, we're centering, which is something I usually do when I'm standing up. So I'm sitting down trying to center. Hopefully I'll get it just right, okay? And this is where we're gonna bring in that gift card holder that we just cut and scored, all right? So let me get my bone folder. So, and I know Simone is fairly new to Stampin', so she may not have a bone folder yet. And I do find that they come in handy, especially for helping with those score lines, okay? All right, so this is how we're going to do our gift card. This shorter piece is at the very bottom. And I'll just go ahead and put the seal on this. Okay, and then this gets centered. And sometimes I find it easier to open it up. This is just going to get centered right here in this panel. Just like this, all right? Okay. And so now we're ready to do the top panel. I just love the pumpkins, the gourds, such a beautiful, beautiful piece of paper. All right. And now this is going to get centered right along here. All right. Okay. So that's the first part of the gift card holder. Okay. So now we're going to embellish the outside and then we'll work on the inside, okay? So here, I have already taken the time to cut this scallop circle. This is, again, the brushed metallic paper, and I believe it's either the copper or the gold. I get really confused on the colors. But I use the layering circles dies, which have been in our catalog a long time. They're in the very back of the annual book, okay? So let me know if you need me to show you where they are. I actually have my book over here tonight. And then this is very vanilla, and it's one of the stitched circles. Okay, so that's what I used. It's like second to the largest. And this is where we're going to do some stamping. I am going to bring in my mat because we're actually using photopolymer stamps. They're not rubber. And so we don't have that cushioning. When you use a rubber stamp, you've got that cushion. But this doesn't have the cushion, so I'm going to use this instead. Don't fret if you don't have one of these at home, okay? All right, so Margaret says, is there a way to cut the top of the brushed bronze without wasting the middle? It's too pretty. The top of the brushed bronze. Oh, is there a way to cut the top without wasting the middle? I'm not sure what you mean. Are you thinking just keeping it like a card front instead of opening like this? Is that what you're thinking, Margaret? Let us know. I mean, you could certainly do it that way. So and Gail says, if this is a giveaway and I win, I'm going to give myself a gift card so I can keep it. Absolutely, Gail. Absolutely. I love it. All right. Okay. So back to our stamping. We are going to use some Cajun Craze ink. So I'm going to ink this up. And I'm going to stamp this right in the middle. Now, if you're at home, you can definitely stamp on the very vanilla and then cut it out, okay? All right. And let's see. This is the brushed metallic, so we're just going to go ahead and add this like a donut. Yes, a donut gift card, Laura. Is that what you're talking about? I wish I could give everybody one of these tonight. All right. So this would be perfect for a pumpkin latte. How about that? A pumpkin latte gift card. Hey, Dawn, welcome. Like an outline of it and save the middle. I'm not sure what you're talking about, Margaret. I'm so sorry. All right, girls, I'm out of white dimensionals. All right, so I'm using my black. Okay, I'm desperate. So I don't have any more. That's another thing that was on my order. So, all right, this is just going to go right in the center. So you do want to pop this up. All right, whoops. I think I put that over too far. So let's try again. And I think that'll do it, okay? Now we're gonna stamp with the leaves and the acorn, okay? Oh, thank you, Sonia, for answering. I'm sorry, I don't know why I don't understand. I'm not just stone, I'm so sorry. Okay, so let's talk about the acorn. I am gonna stamp this one in early espresso. All right, I'm gonna show you how I do that. I'm gonna ink this up and then I am going to stamp it, all right? And then this is the solid image for the acorn, okay? So I'm gonna take that solid image, I've inked it in early espresso, I'm gonna stamp off, and then I'm gonna add it to the acorn. So I want that to be a little bit lighter than the outline of the acorn. I'm gonna have to go back and, this is some great conversation that I'm gonna need to go back and read. All right. I'm reading, guys. Oh yeah, Nancy says if you don't have a pad to stamp with the polymer stamps, use a mouse pad, or if you have a Stamparatus, you can use that pad. Absolutely, Nancy. Thanks for pointing that out. Margaret's talking about taking the brush metallic and just using it around the outside edge and saving the middle. Gotcha. I think you're probably right. Yep. Yeah, very good. Thank you, ladies. Thanks for chiming in. I know that foil is so gorgeous. It's a shame to hide it, isn't it? So thank you for chiming in. I really appreciate that. Okay, now let's do, we're gonna do 2 oak leaves, all right? And so here's the outline right there. Okay, and then this is the solid image for the oak leaf. So I'm going to ink that up. I'm going to stamp off so it's not so heavy. All right, I'm a little off there because it's kind of hard for me. I'm trying to put the leaf in the camera and then I can't see what I'm doing. All right, that one's really bad. So let's do another one. I'm sorry. I might zoom out and move this closer to me. Again, I'm stamping off. I'm gonna move this closer. There we go, much better, okay? Hey, Billy, welcome. Good to have you tonight. All right, so we needed 2 oak leaves, and now we're going to use mint macaron, and we're going to do the maple leaf. And here's the outline for the maple leaf right there. And I'll go over here where there's a little more space and put it there. And then this is the solid image for the maple leaf. Again, I'm stamping off. All right, stamping off, and now I'm doing the other one, okay? So you're inking your stamp full strength for the outline, and then when you do the solid image, stamp off once, okay? And then you can see that beautiful detail. You can see the veins in the leaves, all right? So that's what we're going to use to embellish the gift card holder. Now let me show you these 2 oak leaves right here. They came from the designer paper. I did not stamp those. I did stamp the maple leaf and I did stamp the acorn, but not the oak leaves, all right? So now we're ready to punch them out, and we're going to go over here and get this acorn. All right, and it just lines up beautifully, and there it is. And now let's do the oak leaf. right there. And then I'm gonna do this one next to it. So we're gonna use 2 of those. And now we're gonna use the maple leaf punch. Now remember, this is a trio, all right? These 3 punches do come together, all right? Just like that. Actually, Simone, when placing an order, and this will be good for everyone to know, when you place an order, if it's under $150, you can use the hostess code. But if you place a $150 order, don't use the code, because you can be your own hostess and you can earn free product, okay? Thank you, Lori. I'm so glad you liked the project. All right, so we've got enough of everything. And so now we're going to embellish here. And we're gonna start with the acorn. And I'm just gonna kind of plug that right there, okay? And then we've got 2 oak leaves. Now I think what I'm gonna do is, let's go ahead and pop up the maple leaf, and then we're gonna tuck the oak leaves under it. All right, so that's our maple leaf. I tell you, isn't that beautiful? I just love that mint macaron, so pretty. And then we're to use a glue dot. I put it at the bottom of the oak leaf. And then what I can do is I can add it right there. And I'll zoom in, I'm a little far out. And then one more, there's the glue dot. And then I'm gonna add this one, and I'll just tuck it under the maple leaf. And put it right there. All right, isn't that pretty? Okay, yes, I do need to ask Santa for dimensionals. Oh my gosh, yes. All right, now I want to use some linen thread. So hang tight. What have I done with my linen thread? Oh, here it is. I'm gonna tie a little bow for the acorn, and then we'll move on to the inside. All right. Get that packed up and put away. I know the minis are so cute, and the minis do come in handy. They really do. All right. So now, ladies, I'm just tying just a tiny little bow, okay? All right. And then I just kind of play with the ends, you know, till I get it like I want it. It needs to be pretty tiny. Then I'm going to take a glue dot, and I'm going to put that right in the center of that bow. And then I'm going to add it to our cute little acorn. Hang tight here. All right. So now you can get a look at it again. I do love fall. I really do. Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome, Simone, for the class. Absolutely. I look forward to this. All right, so we're going to work on the inside. And this is the piece that we cut earlier. All right, and I'm going to zoom out so you can kind of see what's going on here. It really doesn't matter which way you fold. This part here, this wider part, is going to fold in, okay? It is coming together nicely, Cindy, absolutely. So that's going to fold in, and this is going to fold over, all right? So this folds in, and this 1/2 inch folds under, okay? All right. Now, I'm going to use I could actually use my Stampin' Seal Plus, and you know what? I am going to use that. So this is the Stampin' Seal Plus. This is for 3D projects, gift card holders, anything that needs a stronger adhesive. And remember this little flap that I folded over? Well, that's where the Seal Plus is going to go. All right, so let me advance that. There we go. See that? I'm going to tuck it back over. You see this score right here? This is the top. I'm opening up. This is the score line. And this, ladies, is where you're going to install, attach, whatever you want to call it, to the inside of your gift card holder. All right? Okay. So everybody got that? If not, you can watch the replay, and you know, you can even stop the video if you need to. All right? So here we go. That's where that 1/2 inch went, right above that score line. Okay, and now that is attached inside. Now the next thing we want to do is you're going to take a circle punch. I'm using the 1 inch. You could certainly use a 1/2 inch, 3/4 inch, 1 1/4 inch. So it doesn't have to be 1 inch. All right, you can even use a circle die. So what I'm doing here is, and I'm gonna punch it and then I'll show you how I did it. All right, so I've inserted the punch. I'm centering it from the left and from the right, and I'm just kind of eyeing it. I'm not measuring, and I'm popping that out. All right, now I'll bring it back so you know what's going on. This is the front, and this is the insert, and this is where I did that 1/2 circle. All right, and that's going to fold up, and that's what the gift card is going to go in. Okay. Now for this, I do want to use tear and tape, and I'll tell you why. There's not a whole lot of wiggle room in there for your gift card. So we got to make sure that our little line of adhesive is skinny, okay? So this is going to fold up, and I want it to close, and I'm going to put that tear and tape right there on the very edge. Okay, and I'm going to do it on this side right along the edge. All right. Okay, and then we can peel this off. There we go, and we're going to peel this side off. And then we can close this. We're just closing the sides. And this is an old gift card that I have. I saved some of my gift cards so that I can use them for samples. And that's where it's going. And see, there's just enough space to get that gift card in there. So tear and tape is here, and tear and tape is here, okay? And so that's where that goes. Now we're going to add some ribbon, and then we're going to embellish the top, okay? All right, you ladies are funny. I'm reading your comments. Okay, this is embroidered ribbon. It is in the very back of the mini catalog. It's one of the last ribbons there. And this is in the ribbon share. So if you did, you know, participate in the ribbon share, you are getting 2.5 yards of this, okay? All right, so here's my ribbon. And as you can see, look where I'm wrapping it. I am wrapping it around the front. And when I do that, it holds that gift card into place. And so that's one of the reasons I put ribbon there. I was just taking a sip of water. I'm getting thirsty. Okay, so we're gonna add that ribbon, And I just looped it like I'm tying my tennis shoe, okay? And I know I've shown you all this before. This ribbon at the bottom is 6 o'clock. The ribbon at the top is your 12 o'clock, okay? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take 6 o'clock, which is at the bottom. I'm gonna wrap it all the way around 12 o'clock. And then I'm gonna put it in the hole. Whoops, which I totally lost. Let's do it again. 6 o'clock is wrapping around 12 o'clock. Thank you, Sonia. And then when I put a knot in there, I'm gonna tug on the top. And when I tug on the top of that ribbon, I get this beautiful square knot, okay? Oh, thank you, Lori. I'm so glad y'all like it. This is, you know, like I said, I made this about a year ago with a different stamp set. And this is one of my favorite gift card holders that I like to make. All right, okay. So now that's done. And you could leave it like this and be completely done with your project. But when I looked at it with the pumpkin designer paper, it really reminded me of a pumpkin spice latte. And I do know that pumpkin spice is out now. I haven't had one, but I do know that they are out. She better share a card with me, Carol. Oh my gosh, that's awesome, Carol. I would love for Kathy to share her card. Thanks, Carol. All right, we're gonna embellish the inside, okay? If you all wanna hang with me to finish it up. And I'm gonna use a different stamp set. And it's the Heartwarming Hugs. You know that whole coffee suite in the very front of the mini? That's the stamp set. So let me find it in my stash. And we're gonna stamp with it and cut out those couple little things. Here's the stamp set. It's called Warm Hugs. And this is what we're going to use. One of the words is for you. This one's on me. Merry Christmas. Warm hugs to you all season long. And you're gonna see how that cuts out. It's pretty cool how the die works. These little images fit in the circle. All these little images fit right in those circles. So cute. This is a nice layer. And these words also fit in that layer, okay? I know, pumpkin spice. Oh, I haven't had one yet. Maybe I'll try and do that tomorrow. I would love to have one. Okay, so I brought this out because we're gonna need to do some stamping, and we are using Very Vanilla again. Very Vanilla cardstock. This is Cajun Craze ink. So I'm gonna ink this up, and then I'm gonna stamp it right there, all right? So I'll shine that up a little closer so you can see it. So that gets done. And now we're gonna use Early Espresso. You can tell it's fall because we're using all these fun ink colors. This design, so cool. Right there. So I'll hold that up close so you can see. Isn't that pretty? Just a very intricate little design there. All right. And the other thing we can do is we're gonna stamp a little cup. Okay, so there's that cute little cup. So I'm gonna do this just like I did the little leaves and the acorn. I'm actually gonna go ahead and I'm gonna stamp it right in the center, all right? And then I'm going to take the solid image for the cup. I'm gonna ink it in Early Espresso. I'm going to stamp off, and then I am going to add it to that cup. Okay, so that's Early Espresso stamped off, okay? So that's done, and now I get to bring in our new machine. All right, So let me show you the dies. These dies do all kinds of things, okay? These are wrappers that go around the little mini cups. And all those little mini pieces I showed you can be cut out. We're going to use, I've already used this one to cut this out. And look at that real pretty little intricate design that I get. All right, so that one's done for us. I know, isn't this cute? And then we're gonna use this die. Now check out this die. It has a blade here and then a blade on the outer edge. So when I go to cut this out, it's gonna cut out that little circle. Isn't that cool? Is that not the coolest? So you're gonna see that. And then we have this die that is going to fit right here for cutting this out. All right, so those are the two things we're gonna cut out, and then we'll be finished. All right. So here's my machine. Now let me see, I might, yeah, I'll zoom out a little bit there. Okay. Now remember, we have our sandwich right here, okay? Remember, there are 3 different sandwiches on the platform, and we're gonna use the top one. And so we need number 1, number 2, number 3, paper, die, and then another number 3, okay? So I'll show you how that looks. There's 1, 2, there's 3. I think this one's a little flatter. I'll use that as my 3. Now remember, I don't have the magnetic platform yet. It's coming. It is on its way. All right. So what I'm doing here is I am just lining up. Now these little metal bars, they aren't going to cut anything. So we don't have to worry about that, okay? Oh, thank you, Terry. Thank you so much. I just want to make it easy, right? It shouldn't be complicated. All right. I'm going to turn this just a little bit. I think that'll do it. All right, so I've got both pieces on there. I'm cutting 2 at one time. And then I'm going to roll it through. Now remember, I do have a shaky table here, okay? It's not too bad tonight. All right, and then I'll just go on and move my machine out of the way. And then, look at that. Isn't that cool? Look at that beautiful piece. Love that. It's like a stop sign. So I'll put this away before I lose it. And then here's this piece. I'm going to put it back. Now look what happened when it cut it out. Check that out. And there's the cup. Just like that. Isn't that cool? So they cut at the very same time. All right. So I'm going to bring this back in. And since it's going inside the gift card, and I certainly don't want it to fall out, I'm going to use some Seal Plus. All right. And that's that darker blue cartridge. And I'm going to put it right there in the center. Okay. And this one, I'm also just going to use the Seal Plus because I have it out. And that just fits right in here. This is super easy. See that? And now I can zoom in for you ladies a little bit better. Okay, and now our last part, I'm going to use minis to attach this circle. All right. I'm really in the mood for a pumpkin spice now. So when I went to attach this, I'm like, well, how should I do it? Like, how should I attach the circle on here? If you look at the words, you're going to see a dot between the words. And I use the dot as my west and east, if that makes any sense, okay? So I'm gonna attach this going west and east. All right, there we go. And so that's how I decided that I would attach the circle, that direction. And now we have one more little piece, and I'll use a mini on that one. This is the cup. And something I do like to use is my take your pick tool. Hang on, and I'll show you what I'm doing here. Maybe I'll show you. Now it's stuck to the table. Well, I was going to show you, but it doesn't want to pick it up. All right, so what I'm doing here is I'm just going to lay that right back in that circle popped up. All right, and that's the inside of your card, my friends. What do you think?